Hey everyone, it is Tina with Create with Tina, and thank you for stopping by today. I am super excited to talk about this bundle that it can be found in the mini catalog that is available right now. And there's so much beautiful Christmas stuff in here that I feel like this particular bundle has not been seen as much, can be easily overlooked because there's so much fun stuff in here, and I have been guilty about passing by all of the kind of autumn and fall things to show you Christmas. So today's video, I just want to show you what Tina has been creating with this wonderful set, and it is found on page 31 of the mini book, and it's called Nests of Winter. So the whole suite is called Nests of Winter. And in the suite, when you get the suite, you get the stamp and die cuts, and you get the paper pack, and you get an embossing folder, wood grain embossing folder. You get the dies, you get fun new twine, and then you get some new embellishments that are beautiful. I had used mine all up, and so when I created my cards, I used some other ones because these gems are so pretty. But this is the bundle, and then the suite itself, this is the suite, and then the bundle itself is called Winterly Treetops, and a bundle comes with the stamp set and the dies. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. So this is the stamp set. It's a cling stamp set, so you're going to want to mount it, and then this is the die set, and there's a lot of dies. I even have a couple of them here on the back. And as you guys know, I like to put my dies on a magnetic sheet in this envelope that fits right inside. I'm going to pull these two out because I want to show them to you. That fits right inside the case that holds my stamps. And I've done a video on my group, on my YouTube channel, that says how to store your die cuts. So in that video, I link to the product I found on Amazon. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but so many people asked me about it that I put a link in that video if you're curious. So these are the stamps, these are the dies, and now let me show you the paper real quick. So it's so pretty. Now this paper right here, this could be used for anything winter. I know it's in this Nests of Winter. Well, it can be used for anything winter. I love it. And you guys know that their paper is two-sided. So on the other side, you get these birds. And this is what I love about Stampin' Up! That I've come to just really appreciate that they do, is that they have dies that fit over images in their paper packs so that you can cut those out and create cards, scrapbook layouts, paper crafting products without ever having to stamp if you don't want to. So they do sell this whole thing as a bundle, but they also just sell the dies separate. And there have been a few kits where all I've done is bought the dies because I wanted to cut the images out of the paper. So two of the dies in particular do that really well. So there's this little bird one right here, and it just fits right over your paper like that. And this bird one here. So I'm going to stop real quick and show you how I use those dies. So here we go. Here is card number 1. Ooh, I love it. And guess what? The only stamping is on the sending thanks. This right here is cut right out of the paper, just using the die cut, cutting it out, and then using foam tape to pop it up. And then this is that embossing folder so that you guys can see it up close. And then just swipe some ink right over it if you want to make the impression pop a little bit. Okay, so this is their pecan pie, and you can just swipe ink right over it. But isn't that so pretty? Now, here's another one. Ta-da! Same exact thing. This time, the only stamping was I turned this one into a Merry Christmas card. But again, this isn't stamped at all. I just cut it out of the paper. So it's like, boom, I can make a really pretty card thanks to the paper that Stampin' Up! Has designed. And then this is kind of a fun technique here in the background that I want to talk about. So in the die cut set, one of the things you get is a card front die that is a frame. It's like an evergreen frame. Let me move these over so the background's not so busy, so that you guys can see it. And of course, you can just cut it out of paper and use it on a card. And I'm going to show you that right here because that's exactly what I did on this card. Okay, just cut it right out. I think this is a close to my heart color called Toffee, the light side. Cut it out, add it right over the paper, and there you go. You have a really cute frame. Again, this is another bird cut right from the pattern paper, not stamped, not colored. But did you know you can also cut it out of cardstock and then use this piece that you've cut out as a stencil. Okay, and so that is exactly what we did here. So this, let me zoom out just a little. This card was made by cutting the frame out of a piece of cardstock and then using the shaded spruce ink. Joey, stay back. Joey, my puppy still wants to be involved in everything. Using the shaded spruce ink and a blending brush and just going over that cut out piece and getting the ink on, and then all I did without re-inking the blending brush was turn it 90 degrees, and I did it again to get the two-tone look in there. Can you see that? So you get the lighter and the darker. That's all I did to make this card using the die cut that came in the kit, or just use it plain like that. So now let me show you a little bit more paper. So I showed you the first two pieces, which are this beautiful, beautiful checker, and then the bird is on the back side. And then this is also another really pretty piece. I don't know if the light is catching it well. It's a very, very dark and gloomy day here in Oregon, so I have all the lights on inside. I'm not getting much natural light. This is the back side of that same paper, and again, it's those birds. Now, these birds don't have die cuts that you can cut out, but it's still very beautiful. And then there's this nice green stripe. This would be great for any Christmas pages. So this paper is really, really multifaceted. The back side is these birds. So again, then you get the birds a little bit smaller. And again, there's not die cuts, but how easy would it be to cut these out with your scissors, to do a little fussy cutting. And oh, I wanted to mention something. When I was looking at this pattern, I know there's not die cuts, but what it did do is it gave me coloring inspiration. I was like, oh, that's another way I could stamp those birds and color them, and they would be really pretty. So things I hadn't thought of, I see in here and think, yeah, let's do that. All right, now there's this paper, and I wanted to show you. I think I have a card I did with it. Maybe not. I thought I did. Maybe I don't have it in here. And then the back side of this paper is this, I don't know, dandelions, what I call it, but it's not really dandelions, but look how cute, there's little birds. If you look real closely, there's little birds on it. All right, and then this is awesome. This is great for scrapbookers, especially because you have this whole background design that you could use as a border on your page or on your entire page. And then the back side of this is this nice neutral calm tan paper, and then there is this last one right here, and I love the birch paper pattern. Joey, get back. All right, so let me show you these two. So here is another card, and for this card the focus was this pattern of paper and then some espresso cardstock, and then this pattern of paper, which this looks like I used the embossing folder, but I didn't. And I just stamped right on it. But I want to show you something that you might find interesting. So remember I showed you this card, and I said on this card, I just cut this right out of the pattern paper, didn't do any coloring. Well, for this card, I cut it out of white cardstock. I stamped my birds, and I used a water painter blending brush is what we called them, or water brushes, if you have those. And I dipped it in my shaded spruce, my real red, and this yellow color, which I can't remember what it's called, and Stampin' Up! Colors. But look at that. You can almost get the same effect just using your water brush. So once you've, cut out all, let's see, let's find the right one. Let's move these over. once you've cut out all the ones that you want to use, or maybe you want to use this paper for something else, it is super, super easy to grab your blending brush and just dip it in the ink pad and color your image, okay? And then let's look at this one. I did the same thing. Now this card is especially fun, and I saved it for last because not only did I cut this out, I stamped it in black, cut it out, and with the Stampin' Up! Dies, I highly recommend stamping it first, then die cutting it, because they have a much narrower space around them than the Close to My Heart dies did, and so it's easy to not be able to stamp it right on otherwise. So I think you should stamp it first and then put the dies on. Again, I water brushed it, but then for this background, this is just their, they're called Enamel Effects, I believe. This is the gold Enamel Effects, and I just took like a butter knife, but I used the non-rigid side, so the flat side, and just scraped it across this white cardstock right here to let it dry. And then let it dry, and then once it was dried, all I did was add the stamped image with foam tape, and I mounted it to a white card, and I added my gems. Now, isn't that pretty? I've seen a lot of people just take the Enamel Effects and use it like, what were they called? Pearl drops or stickles, and just do the drops around the card. But you can definitely put a glob. I put a glob on an acrylic block, and I picked it up with my knife and just kind of scraped it across the card. And I went pretty thin, but look at that shine. And then, of course, I wiped the block off right away. So that is another idea for this set. And then I think I have two more that I haven't shown you. Yes, okay. So here we go. This is another card, again, stamped and watercolored, but this time I cut this out of a piece of cardstock, and I just used the edge, and I used a water brush to make a little border along the edge of the card, and then with the same, a blending brush, and then with the same blending brush, I did a light blend over my sentiment piece and then stamped Season Greetings right in it. And then what I should show you is the Enamel Effects pack. I think it has red, black, and white, and the other one has gold, silver, and metallic. So I had both. So these are the bottle of red Enamel Effects, and I did dots on the berries from it. So isn't that pretty? So that's how, it's like stickles. So this is what you're used to seeing. Well, this is more like the pearl paints, but this is what we're used to seeing. But this is just another way to do it that's really cool. Okay, and that's it. One last card to show you. And again, this little guy, I did two cards where I cut the little red bird out right out of the pattern paper. So I did not watercolor these. They are just cut straight from the pattern paper. And then if you were curious, this is the pack of gems I used. They're called adhesive backed metallic gems. And I used the bronze ones. I really liked the way the bronze ones looked with this paper. I didn't want to use gold because it wouldn't stand out enough, I didn't think. So anyway, that is my current what has Tina been working on video that I wanted to share with you guys. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about this really fun set in the mini catalog. And again, it's so easily overlooked, but it's beautiful. It's so pretty, and I'll be sharing a lot more artwork in the group, but this is just a taste to show you what I've been working on. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the inside in the group. Talk to you later.